Coronation Street spoilers, drunken outbursts, buried secrets, and a race against time to the hospital. Just as viewers are beginning to process the devastating aftermath of the recent multi-vehicle crash that claimed the life of Billy Mayhew, Coronation Street shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, next week on the ITV soap, emotions run high, secrets surface, and several lives threaten to spiral out of control. The drama picks up with the Platts at the hospital, where David remains by Shona's side as baby Harper receives care. Exhausted and emotionally drained, Shona eventually returns home, only to be confronted by her newly arrived younger sister, Jody. Wasting no time, Jody launches into a bitter interrogation about their shared past, accusing Shona of abandoning her to neglectful parents and insisting she never truly cared. Back at number 8, Jody appears to settle in, helping Lily draw a self-portrait. Yet beneath the surface, she is quietly sowing discord, slipping cruel insinuations about Shona into Lily's ear and deliberately destabilizing what appears to be a happy family life. With Jody clearly planning to stay, Shona attempts to smooth things over by taking her out for breakfast at the cafe. But the moment Detective Kit Green walks in, Jody panics and bolts. Fans will recall that Kit previously encountered Jody on the night of the crash, when she was fleeing through the woods. Back at home, Shona presses her sister for answers about how she knows Kit, but Jody stays silent. Left with more questions than reassurance, Shona confronts Kit directly. He explains that he found Jody in the woods that night, her wrists bound, terrified and seemingly running from someone. The revelation leaves Shona shaken to her core. Meanwhile, Jody attends a domestic abuse support group at the community center, where she listens intently as another woman, Ellie, recounts the harrowing violence inflicted by her partner. Shortly after, Shona and David receive a distressing call from Bethany. Jody has returned home and is in a deeply distressed state. What has triggered her breakdown? As the week progresses, Jody volunteers to help out at the cafe while Nina Lucas heads to a wholesaler's. True to form, Jody wastes no time flirting with Carl Webster, prompting a sharp warning from his ex, Abby. Elsewhere, Shona confides in David that she is desperate to track down their father, hoping he can shed light on what really happened to Jody. Over on another corner of the cobbles, Roy Cropper begins writing to his pen pal, Alice. Nina teasingly suggests he might consider taking their relationship further, but Roy is offended and storms off. Later, as they discuss whether Alice could possibly be a catfish, Roy receives a message from her, leaving him quietly unsettled. At Underworld, Betsy Swain opens up to Carla Connor, reminding her that they were once a family, and could be again, because both she and her mother still love her dearly. Betsy's words linger, and soon Roy steps in again, attempting to mend fences. He explains to Lisa that it is the anniversary of his late wife Haley's death and that he plans to visit the boating lake where he scattered her ashes. Roy gently encourages Carla to reconcile with Lisa, insisting Haley would have wanted her to be happy. Carla adds that Haley would have wanted the same for Roy. Later, while booking a lunch meeting at the bistro, Carla receives a surprise letter from Ryan Connor, inviting her and Lisa to join him for lunch. During the meal, Carla begins texting Lisa but is reprimanded by a client for using her phone. She switches it off, an action that proves costly. Clearly drunk and feeling rejected, Lisa storms into the hotel restaurant, publicly berating Carla for standing her up. The fallout sends Carla back to number 6, where a hungover Lisa admits she remembers very little of the previous day. Still, the damage seems repairable. The pair later arrive at the Rovers, announcing they are officially back together to widespread delight. That joy is short-lived. A tearful Sally Metcalf soon appears at number 6 with a letter for Carla and unloads her marital woes involving Tim. Having just resolved her own crisis, Carla quietly snaps, secretly calling Tim and demanding he come and collect his wife. Elsewhere, Leanne Battersby shocks Eva Price by revealing her intention to buy Maggie Driscoll's share of the Rovers. Maggie, however, turns on Eva, accusing her of conspiring with Leanne behind her back. And on the subject of secrets, Megan tells Will she'll be going away for a while. Alarmed, he asks if she's ill, but what is she really hiding? Back at the Rovers, tensions escalate as Eva and Maggie clash over the pub sale. During a beer delivery, Ben suddenly clutches his chest in pain. Leanne offers Maggie £160,000 for her share of the pub, but Maggie refuses. The situation explodes when Leanne's handbag catches on a bar stool, causing Maggie to fall. At a local athletics meet, Will is approached by a fellow runner, Lee, who reminds him they once competed together in Hull. Distracted, Will fails to notice Lee calling Megan, but why? After the race, Will invites Lee back to the pub and later asks him to meet Megan in the Ginnel. What does she intend to say? Finally, Kevin Webster returns home and stares despondently at a photo of himself and Debbie during happier times. Overwhelmed, he erupts in rage, smashing up the living room. Tyrone arrives moments later, stunned by the destruction. Before Kevin finally admits he can't cope anymore, the drama doesn't end there. At the streetcar's flat, Carla emerges from the shower to find Tyrone waiting, crutch in hand. Tyrone pins him against the wall, demanding the truth. Later, back at the Rovers, Tyrone recounts the explosive confrontation to Fizz and Kevin, leaving everyone wondering just how far this conflict will go.